one of those weeks that I haven't been feeling quite myself. I've been very low on energy and struggling with mood swings. I think we're all going through really difficult times in our world right now. And as a natural empath, I can feel things on a much stronger level than perhaps some other people. I think this is perhaps something that a lot of artists struggle with, since we are right-brained and natural empaths by birth. If you look at it from the positive side, though, if we didn't have these deep feelings, then perhaps we wouldn't be able to express ourselves in the same way artistically. It's hard for me to even look at the news sometimes because it affects me so strongly and takes away my energy. I've realized that if I spend a lot of time reading about world events, it takes away very important energy that I need for painting. So I have to protect myself and go inside a sort of cocoon if I want to feel all right. I don't know, have you ever done that? So this morning I woke up and I was not feeling really well. I was a bit under the weather yesterday, Sunday too. I just felt like I didn't have any energy whatsoever. So I spent most of the evening just resting. Sometimes we have to do that, just listen to our bodies and rest, and allow us that moment to rest. I made some herbal tea so that my spirits would be lifted. But honestly, quite honestly, I'm still feeling a bit under the weather. I'm not feeling bad or anything, but I just don't have a lot of energy. I had some dark chocolate and a little bit of prohibited coffee just about an hour ago, so feeling a little bit better now. And what I want to do today is inspire myself by painting flowers. So here are the flowers that I found this morning on my walk. The poplar tulip is finally out. It doesn't really have a smell to it, but I just love these flowers and all the colors. And what I want to do today is I want to paint this flower here, the yellow flower. So we're going to start by painting the background, just getting another layer of greens into the background. This already has, I think, about 3 layers. So this, I'm hoping this is going to be the last layer. And after we've done the layer of greens in the background, we'll do this yellow orangey flower. So I'm hoping that by painting flowers today, my spirits will be lifted up a little bit because I'm really, really needing it. So let me know what you do to lift your spirits up. But one of the things that really does help me is to just take care of myself. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to have a nice foot bath. I also had a little nap right after breakfast. So yeah, just taking care of myself and taking it a little bit slower today and not expecting quite so much of myself. I think we all know how that is when you expect too much of yourself and then you just get a burnout. I might actually have a little bit of a burnout. But let's get on with that flower, and I will talk to you in about an hour and see how my spirits are then. So get out your paints and your canvases and let's paint flowers. So these are the beautiful flowers I got this morning on my walk. This is a poplar tulip flower and they grow on really, really tall trees. So I can't really get a picture of the branch itself, but they fall onto the ground and they are just so pretty. They have kind of like an orchid feel to them. And these are the flowers I found too. They were growing on bushes. So I got lots of material here to get inspired with for my deer painting. So I'm going to bring the camera a bit closer in a minute so you can see what I'm doing. But this is the deer painting that you saw me sketch. I think a couple of weeks ago. I'll put the link in down below so you can see the video where I was doing the sketch for this painting. But now it's like almost halfway. We've done this area, but I got to start working on this area. So we might be working on that today. So right here, this is the poplar tulip. And today I'll be working on this side and working towards the tulip on here. So let's get started on that, shall we? This is my gigantic palette. It's basically just a piece of plywood that John fixed on top of a trolley, and I use it as a palette because I like to have all that space. I don't like to see the colors get muddy and mixed up with each other. So basically, as I'm working through the paint, I get rid of the wax paper and I set new wax paper on top of it once I'm done with that part of the paper. And the colors that I like to use, the basic colors anyway, are titanium white, lemon yellow, and you'll see the cadmium yellow next to the lemon yellow, then you'll have ochre, then I'll be using cadmium red, then a little darker red, which is vermilion red. And for blues, I like to use cobalt blue and Prussian blue. Sometimes I might use ultramarine, but very little of it. Depends really on the painting. Then I'll have Van Dyke brown or burnt umber. And as specialty colors, I might use vermilion. And I like certain kinds of pink too. But this is what you see here is a very basic palette that I normally use. And then I'll be using linseed oil and turpentine. That's what I use most of the times. If I'm working on paper, because I do also paint on paper with oils, prepared paper. I'll show you how to do that later on. When I work on paper, I might use walnut oil. So that's basically it. Very simple palette. I like to keep it clean. And then between those colors, you can really make any color under the rainbow. So I've got the colors down now to do the background, the greens, and the yellow flower. So I've got here like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different kinds of yellows, and the greens for the lushy green tropical forest in the background. And as I go, I'll be mixing them in between each other and probably like adding a little bit of different earthy tones in there if I feel like I need to adjust those colors. But this is the basic palette that I already got ready to continue working on the foresty background. So I think it's looking pretty good, and let's get started with that. So this time I put this whiteboard behind the painting so that whatever is behind it won't disturb me so much, and it won't disturb you either when I'm actually painting. And I think the painting is done. I mean, I could add a few details to it, but I don't know if it's really necessary. I want it to be a little bit on the loose side and not to have all these tiny little detailings on it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sign it and then put it on the wall for a few days and let it just sit there, and I'll be glancing it on and off on the wall, and in about a week I'll know if it's done or not, and then I'll scan it and varnish it. But for now I'm just going to let it sit, and we'll find a place for it in my studio. So I'm practicing some self-care today, and I just went into my garden and got some mint. I love mint in my tea, and I'm going to put some leaves in my foot bath too. So I've got some tiger balm ointment in there, and spearmint and Epsom salts. So the tiger balm ointment is going to help my feet revive and feel refreshed. So this is what I'm doing today to make myself feel better. Take a nice foot bath. You might want to go and do a foot bath yourself. We can do one together. I just wanted to say a few more things about how I've been feeling these past 2 weeks. So I think a lot of us are feeling these ups and downs these days. There's so much uncertainty in the world, and the feeling of helplessness is what really weighs on my mind. So when I feel like this, I get into a sort of self-care mode. And some of the things that I like to do for self-care are, for example, walking in nature. I turn off my phone on Sundays, and I have a no internet day, or at least I try to. This also means turning the television completely off for one day, which isn't really a problem for me because I'm not a big television watcher anyway. Some self-care remedies that I also like are taking warm baths, or if I really want to splurge myself, I'll take a full body massage. I wanted to show you these 2 prints I just recently made last week. So this is from my painting A Journey to the Wild Orchid, and I printed it on Hahnemuller paper, and I bought this beautiful vintage frame. It's absolutely gorgeous with these raised edges. It's quite unusual. I've never seen anything quite like this. And I had a museum glass put on it, and it turned out rather nice. So we're going to send this out because I just sold it yesterday. Yay! It's got a new owner. It's going to a new home. So thank you. Thank you so much for that lovely person who adopted this purple-haired little chi creature. So that's going to be packed today. And then I also made this print, which is my newest hummingbird painting with the long blue tail. And I bought this vintage frame for this print. So we haven't listed that on my website yet, but we're gonna do that. So let's get on with the packing for this one first. So I just remembered that I haven't really given you a tour of my studio since I had it painted. So I put that new drawing up there on the wall yesterday, which I think turned out really, really nice in its frame. And I got a little drawing collection going here, so I might do a little small one over there. So I have like a three drawings there. And then this corner, I've showed you this corner before, and I've got this little drawing that I made a while back. Well, it's actually a painting. It's an oil painting made on paper. Just paper that I got gesso. I put gesso on it. You can do that, and it becomes archival. So yeah, I have not figured out how to frame this green dressed girl for the longest time. So I found this lovely frame at the antique store, and I thought I would have a passepartout made on it. And I'm thinking about kind of like an orchid red to go around it. So yeah, I'm gonna get that done for next week, and we'll see how it turns out. That's it for this week, guys. I hope you liked my video, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you so much for your love and support. I hope to see you again here soon. Meanwhile, I am going to take more naps and time off if I need to. And don't forget to do that yourself too. If you are feeling tired, don't forget the self-care and love. We all need to take that moment for ourselves and love ourselves. Bye for now. See you next time. Bye-bye.